Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about BJJ gis, the differences. We're going to focus on the Fuji and the Reevo brands today, and we'll go over all the different models so you can understand what makes a good gi and what the difference is between the different models. So first off, let's take a look at the Fuji gi. So Fuji, the history of Fuji is it's been around for many, many years. The history is that my uncle, who was in Japan, was sending gis home to my father in Canada. So they created this network of getting gis because back 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, there was no judo gis. There wasn't such a thing in Canada. So it was my uncle who started sending them back and my father who started distributing them, and that's where it all began. So the Fuji brand is that old. It's been around for many, many years, and if you don't have a Fuji gi, well, you should get one. But B, your sensei probably used a Fuji gi if they trained in North America. It's been around a long time, and it's built its reputation over many decades. So, and then what we've done nowadays is we've taken what was tradition, what is tradition, and we've tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it along the way to find out to match what the market wants, what the regulations, how the regulations change. We've had to follow that. But nonetheless, all the construction and the heritage of the Fuji brand is based upon decades and decades of history. So you know you're getting a quality product. We make sure of it. We literally sell thousands of these uniforms every year, and you're really buying a great value, good product that you will not be disappointed with. So first off, we have the Fuji BJJ gi, which it's very close to a judo gi, which we've been making for many years. So what you have here is a gi. So the differences between a judo and a jiu-jitsu gi is the jiu-jitsu gis typically have the same material all the way through. That's what the market wants. You can still find some jiu-jitsu gis with a different material on the skirt, which every judo gi does have. But on a BJJ gi, this material is all the same all the way from the top to the bottom. So what you get with this is no seams on the back. So on this uniform, they're relatively inexpensive. They're under $100. You're going to get a top quality uniform that's going to last you a long time. It's a lighter weight uniform, but it's great for summer. It's great for general use, and if you're just starting, this is a perfect gi to roll with. Now, I have people who are black belts that will still wear this Fuji gi because of its comfort, because of its long lasting, because of its price point. It's an excellent uniform. So what you have here, I'll go over it. It has no seam on the back. So when you're in the guard, it's comfortable. It's not that it's uncomfortable to have a seam in your back, but it's a little more comfortable. Adds to breathability, that's one of the main features of this. The seams are covered. The collar is a good strength. It's a good weight. So it's not so thick that it's uncomfortable and you won't be able to move. But if you're being choked, it's a little more difficult to get under your chin than if it was a thin, wispy collar. So it has a decent beefiness to it, a decent firmness to it. Okay. So, and it's a pearl weave uniform. So this is all pearl weave. So with this, and here's the pants. So with the pants, you'll notice that the stitching goes all the way down from the knee all the way down. So this is a feature found mostly in higher end uniforms, but on the Fuji BJJ gi, it has stitching that's going to go all the way down for your protection of your knee and for durability. Now all the seams are reinforced. And it's a good weight pants. So, you'll get years and years of wear out of this. This, as a beginner uniform, it does come with a belt, a weight belt to start off with, right here. But you cannot go wrong with this uniform, whether you're a beginner, whether you're advanced. Comes with a patch. You cannot go wrong with the Fuji, the best value uniform on the market. So a more advanced BJJ Fuji gi is the Montada. So the Montada, meaning mountain, is pearl weave. So if you look at this, the reason it's called pearl weave, they're very small, tiny dots versus a more open weave that you would see in a judo gi. Judo gis have a little more open, often called a golden weave, wider weave stitching, wider weave, okay? Wider weave. Anyway, so the pearl weave is very small, it's very tight. You have a ripstop collar on this. So the ripstop collar, it's gonna not rip, but it's comfortable, it's soft. And in this uniform, it's a light material, but very strong. Minimal shrinkage on this, minimal shrinkage. And you get some great branding. Again, no seam down the back. Reinforced gussets with large reinforced gussets, not little triangles on the corner, but rather big, heavier stitching over here that's going to cover up this gusset to reinforce it. You have some stitching on the skirt here, and you have the branding on the shoulders, the Fuji branding on the shoulders, and a logo on the arm. And you've got the stitching on this. One way that you can look at a uniform, the lower quality ones or the ones that aren't paying attention to the workmanship, this stitching will be crooked because they're using methods that aren't the best. We use a machine to make this that is actually made specifically for this. It's running the stitches parallel. So if you look on again, less expensive or poor made brands, the level of attention that we take to this is that these are all parallel, and it's a small thing, but it's it's a detail that we will make sure that we cover off. Another thing that you will see on some uniforms is that when you cross over your uniform, when you cross over the lapels, this lapel will hang low like that. And that's a sign of a poor cut. On a Fuji uniform or a Reevo uniform, you're going to find that it crosses over very nicely and you'll have a good looking uniform once you're done up. The skirts are a little bit shorter than a judo uniform. It's not mandatory in judo. It's mandatory to have a longer skirt. In Jiu Jitsu and BJJ, you have a shorter skirt. It makes for a lighter uniform. And and a lot of times, frankly, it's styling, but it does make for a lighter uniform and a better looking, better fitting uniform once it's done up. This doesn't come with a belt, but it's a beautiful uniform, very comfortable. If you feel this, it's very soft and pliable, and it's light and strong. So that's the benefit of this gi. So moving on, actually, I'll show you, they all come with this great bag, great cinch bag, like this. And I'll just briefly show the pants. They are rip stop as well. So it's a rip stop pants. It has the reverse stitching all the way down, like this. And another small detail, is the belt loop holders. There's 4 of them. Traditionally on a judo gi, for example, they will have one in the middle. Kind of silly, but traditionally that's what a judo uniform is. But on this uniform, we've put 4. Helps to keep tied up. Helps it not slip out or slide down. And you've got these heavy cords, not just a ribbon of material. You've got a heavy cord cinch pull to pull up your pants. So that is the Fuji Montada. An excellent uniform, light, durable, strong, pearl weave. Now, moving on, the Reevo gis. The Reevo is a brand that was invented 15 years ago by us to address the MMA market. It's expanded from the boxing gloves. They make MMA gloves, Jiu Jitsu gis, anything to do with combat sport, the Reevo brand is covering off. What it is the Fuji gi. Fuji products are based upon tradition. They have a strong tradition, and they stick to traditional martial arts, the karate, the judo, taekwondo. The Reevo gis are a little more progressive. They're not so steeped in tradition, but more in technology and in what the market wants today. So the BJJ gis by Reevo are more advanced in that one of the main features that they have is they have vented underarms. So no other gi on the market as of today has this. I'm sure other people will try to copy it, but Reevo is the innovator in this. So what the vented underarms do is rolling around on the ground with some guy trying to break your arm. It's pretty hot and sweaty. So anything you can do to lower your body temperature is going to increase your performance. It's that simple. So if you can lower the body temperature by venting through the underarms, that's the key. So every gi that Reevo makes, they have this feature. So that's one of the outstanding features of the Reevo uniform. So, and also, to reduce sweating, it's rolling with a partner it's a sweaty affair, and anything you can do to lighten that up, and you could actually feel it when you work it out that it is breathing better, and your body, if the gi is breathing better, your body's going to breathe better. So this is the guard. This is the introduction model for BJJ. If you're just starting, start off with this model. Not too many logos. It's pretty plain. You don't want to walk into the dojo looking like a NASCAR racer, especially if it's your first day on the mats. Just probably isn't the coolest thing to do. But this uniform comes in black, white, blue, pink, many different colors. And again, this is a uniform that will last you for a long time, Some guys have 10 different gis, but this gi will last from the first day on the mats to your last day. You will get years and years of wear out of this uniform. Now this is not pearl weave, this is a golden weave, more traditional weave, but it's taken the material all the way from the top to the bottom. There's no seam on the back. It has heavy gusset reinforcements here. You have the trim on the bottom just for styling. The pants are a traditional twill pant. As you go into the higher end uniforms or more expensive uniforms, they go to ripstop. But this one has a traditional uniform, which I find, I grew up on the mats wearing this, and I find them great. I find them fantastic. They absorb a little bit of the sweat. I don't find that much need for the ripstop, but people do love them. So what you get with this, again, is lots of loops here to hold your line, customized Reevo pull cords, keep your pants up. Great uniform, well built, well priced, and this one does come with a white belt as well. So right out of the gates, the Reevo gi is an excellent way to start, and you get the extra benefit of the venting on the underarms. Next we have the Eclipse. Eclipse is the pearl weave uniform. Again, you can see the reason it's Eclipse, it's white on white, the black is black on black, the blue is blue on blue, has a subtle embroidery. This is a beautiful embroidery here. That is a very tight weave embroidery. It's never going to come out. If you get a poorly done uniform, you'll find that the stitching starts lifting up. This will not happen with this. This is a very tightly woven embroidery. Japanese motifed trim on the bottom. There's the white on white venting. And by the way, this has been tested over and over, and some people are weary that it might rip. We've never had any back. None. I mean, it's very durable. And so this, you'll get a little bit more styling, a little more embroidery, the pearl weave, and the pants you now have traded up to ripstop. Again, with a customized cord, the branded Reevo cords, 4 loops, and you have the protection of the knee pads, double weaved all the way down. There's two pieces of material from the knee down, and you've got some nice branding there. So that's the Eclipse. Moving on, again, a light gi, a relatively light gi, and it comes with a bag, great cinch bag. The next is the Airlight. The Airlight V2 comes with some nice patches. Most of the gis don't come with too many patches because you can always redo them. You can put them on yourself. People don't like it. Some clubs don't like it. Some people don't like it, so we try not to put those on. And this has offset coloring. So you have many different combinations. If you go to the website, you can see different combinations of color. So makes it a little more outstanding, having the venting a different color on the bottom here. Again, this is pearl weave, and there's some beautiful trim on the insides, like this. No back seam. And here you have the ripstop pants again. And there's what you have. Now, and all the cuts of some people are concerned about the cut of these uniforms. They're very, they're cut on the lean side. So for most people, it's a great uniform. If you are heavier or bigger or wider or thicker, you might want to trade up a size. But generally speaking, they're fit very well and pretty lean for the average body, average muscular or lean body. They'll fit most people. You know, in the bell curve, they sit in the sweet spot of fitting most people. If you're on the very skinny end, you can get a little bit smaller uniform, or if you're on the bigger end or thicker end, you can get a bit bigger uniform, and you should be fine. And we have the charts on our website for you to take a look at. So that is the Airlight uniform. Great uniform. Slightly heavier than the other ones, but not much. And it's light because of the material is light and strong, and with the venting, that's why it's known as the Airlight. It comes also with a bag. Now, the last ski that Reevo makes is the Omoplata. The Omoplata uniform. This, oddly enough, it goes back to tradition. It's a little bit heavier. It's not super light. Wouldn't be known as a summer gi. This is more of a traditional weight uniform. Not necessarily heavy, but it's more, as I said, traditional. It has a nice heft to it without being what we call heavy. The features of this are essentially that. The material is just a little bit heavier. Pearl weave has some beautiful logoing and design across the yoke here. We came out with this many years ago, and it seems to be copied throughout the industry. But it was meant for whisking your sweat, but also for comfort. This is a very smooth material, very soft, and it feels good if you're in the guard. It feels nice. Your skin is against this rather than the cotton. So on this uniform, it's a little bit blinged out. Has your own plot across the bottom. Has a Reevo rubber patch. Rubber's kind of a fun material to use on a gi. Rubber guard and all. But that's kind of interesting. It's pliable, it's strong, kind of like somebody doing groundwork. And again, if you see here you have, it's black on black of the venting. Some small logoing on the side, on the arms, and on the butt. This is the flagship of Reevo. Not necessarily what everybody wants. Not everybody wants a I'm reluctant to call it heavier, but a more robust uniform. Not everybody wants it. Some people do want just the super light ones. Maybe for supper time, they want a super light gi, and you go with the other ones. But this does have the venting on it, which does make a difference. And with this, again, you'll have going back to tradition, these are the more traditional twill pants rather than the ripstop pants. They feel nice, they're soft. It's a great uniform, and again, you'll have the reverse stitching all the way down, and the knee pad coming from here all the way down to the floor. So, oh, and this is another feature that it has. So in the crotch, this is something we actually came out with years ago in our shorts as well. In the crotch is the pearl weave. The pearl weave material, which is different from this, which is different from the rest of the gi or the ripstop. Now the purpose of this is that if you've got an arm bar on somebody, and this adds just the extra little bit of friction to keep his arm between your legs. So if you've got either an arm lock or a head and arm choke, you know, you need that extra friction so he doesn't slip out. That's the purpose of this. We actually had shorts years ago that we put with rash guard material for the opposite reason. We wanted it very flexible in the crotch for kicking and flexibility when you're doing no-gi workouts. But this is purposely built so to add a little bit more friction to keep that arm tucked between your legs, or that head tucked between your legs when he's squirming and you're trying to get him to tap. So that's the purpose of this. Some people call it a novelty. I think it's actually pretty practical, and it actually does work. It adds just that little bit of, like I said, friction that's going to hang onto his arm if you happen to let it go with your arms. So that's an interesting feature to this. Comes with a beautiful bag with this, and which has the samurai motifs throughout, which is the same or very similar to what is on the yoke of this. So that's the different gis. We have, along with other brands we have here at Hatashita, these are our main brands, the Reevo and the Fuji. If you have any questions, please email us, please call us, go take a look at the website. There's lots of information there as well. And we're always here to help you with whatever questions you have, and give us a shout. Thanks very much.